He mocked her for the way she talked, the way she dressed, even the fact that she dared to speak up. But she stayed calm, hit play, and watched the justice system turn on him in real time. Mariah Bennett had lived through enough in her 43 years to know when something didn't sit right. The ticket taped to her windshield outside the community center in Macon, Georgia, wasn't just annoying, it felt personal. She stared at it for a moment, narrowing her eyes at the charge: failure to yield in a pedestrian zone. The thing was, she hadn't even been behind the wheel when the violation supposedly occurred. Her aging Honda had been parked legally out front while she was inside, leading a workshop for at-risk teens. Mariah exhaled, slipping the citation into her canvas bag. She worked long hours as a youth mentor, helping kids find direction in a world that rarely gave them room to breathe. She wasn't wealthy, far from it. Her job was her calling, and between raising her teenage son and guiding youth who reminded her of her younger self, there wasn't much time left for distractions. A fine like this didn't just sting financially, it interrupted the rhythm of her already stretched-thin life. That night, she sat at the kitchen table with a cup of chamomile tea and the citation laid flat in front of her. Her son, Devin, was nearby, scribbling math problems in his workbook. "You really gonna fight it?" he asked, eyes flicking up. Mariah chuckled softly. "Yeah, I'm tired of letting stuff slide. You think I'll even care what you say?" She didn't answer right away. She just looked out the window, watching the streetlights hum to life before responding. "I don't need them to care. I just need to show up and do it on my terms." That Monday, she made the call to the courthouse. She took a half day off work and circled her court date in red on the family calendar. On the morning of the hearing, she dressed simply: dark jeans, a pale blue blouse, flats. No muck-up, no blazer, just herself. Before stepping out, she slid her phone in her back pocket, opened the voice memo app, and hit record. Not because she expected fireworks, just because life had taught her to prepare. Confidence in a black woman often made people uncomfortable. She arrived 30 minutes early. The building was modest, red brick, tired signage. A few people loitered outside, shuffling between day jobs and court dates. Inside, the clerk barely acknowledged her. Mariah took a seat quietly, folding her hands, waiting. The room was cold and carried the stale hush of forced silence. When her name echoed through the room, Mariah Bennett, case 407B, her heart picked up. She walked forward composed. Like she always told the teens she worked with, "You can't control everything, but you can control how you show up." Then she saw him, Judge Harold Dunleavy, late 50s, silver hair neatly combed, reading glasses at the tip of his nose. He was well known in the area. Some called him firm, others whispered less generous things. He looked over his glasses at her, a faint lift of his eyebrows. "So, MS. Bennett," he said, stretching out her surname with theatrical disinterest. "Let's get this over with. I assume you're here to argue that this ticket, issued by a trained officer, is somehow incorrect." Mariah nodded once. "Yes, Your Honor. I was inside the building when this citation was issued. I have statements to verify that." He chuckled. Not kindly. "Of course you do." Mariah blinked. The judge leaned back in his chair. "You people always have stories, don't you?" he sneered. "Always the victim. Never your fault. Let me guess, you didn't even see the officer write the ticket, right?" Her jaw tightened slightly. She'd heard worse, in tone, in intent, but hearing it from the bench carried a different sting. The air in the room grew dense. No one moved. "Your Honor," Mariah said, voice steady, "I have proof I was inside. There's a sign-in log at the youth center. Time stamped." He rolled his eyes. "A log anyone could write in? That proves nothing." "That's cute." There were murmurs behind her. Mariah heard them. Heard her own heartbeat, too. But she stayed rooted. "I'm simply requesting the citation be reviewed against the facts," she said. "The facts?" Dunleavy scoffed. "I've been doing this 2 decades. I've seen every angle. You people want rules bent whenever they don't work in your favor." The words slapped more than stung. The delivery, the derision, the dismissal. Mariah didn't reply. She didn't need to. He flipped through papers, scoffing again. Didn't even bring a lawyer. I can speak for myself. He gave a clipped laugh. Of course you can. Next time, let's require representation, he told the clerk. Might save us the performance. Mariah glanced around. A woman in the back, middle-aged, holding her own citation, looked mortified. Looked down quickly. Mariah exhaled. Your Honor, I request the court reporter read back your remarks. Dunleavy blinked. Excuse me. The last few comments. For the record, the young court reporter shifted in his seat. We don't have time for games, the judge barked. Mariah remained calm. Then I'll play it back. She pulled her phone from her pocket. Gasps. A few leaned forward. Recording in court is a violation, he said sharply. Not in this state. Not when I'm recording myself for safety. She tapped play. Her voice first, then his. You people always have stories. It echoed. Sharp. Undeniable. His face changed. From superiority to confusion to something closer to panic. That recording is inadmissible, he muttered. No, sir, Mariah said softly. What you said is. The courtroom held its breath. The bailiff didn't move. She returned the phone to her pocket. He didn't gavel. Didn't say much at all. Until the recess was called. 15 minutes. The room shuffled. Murmured. Buzzed. Mariah didn't move. Her hands folded steady. Strategy, not fear. She pulled her phone again. Scrolled to a contact saved long ago. Judicial Ethics Board. The line clicked. Oversight Office, South Georgia District. This is Carla Shep. Mariava Nit. I'm at the Macon Municipal Courthouse. I believe I've just experienced misconduct by a sitting judge. I have an audio recording. A pause. Can you stay on site? Yes. I'm dispatching someone now. Thank you for your courage. She hung up. One young man approached her shyly. That took guts. Mariah smiled politely. It's not guts. It's truth. The judge didn't return. Instead, a tall woman in a tailored suit did. Platinum hair. Sharp gaze. Judge Dunleavy has been recused, she announced. I'm Judge Karen Vaughn. The room shifted. She called Mariah forward. Privately. In a side room. Vaughn was direct. We've received prior complaints. Yours aligns. Are you willing to submit an affidavit? Yes. Thank you. Back in court, Judge Vaughn resumed. Case 407B. MS. Mariah Bennett, present. Judge Dunleavy, recused. Citation voided. Gas again. Mariah gathered her things. Then Vaughn added, Your conduct today was commendable. Mariah gave the faintest, tired smile. Outside, an aide approached. Are you the one who recorded him? I am. You might be the first who finally got them to act. By sundown, Mariah would receive a call from a state agent. We believe your case may be part of a broader pattern. Financial irregularities. Offshore transfers. Potential criminal proceedings. Mariah exhaled. I'll cooperate. By the evening news, it was public. Judge removed. Ethics violations. Allegations under formal review. Devin gaped. That's him, right? Mariah nodded. Looks like it. Later, her phone buzzed. Another voicemail. Judge Dunleavy is in custody. Criminal charges are being considered. In the following weeks, Mariah's name circulated. Quietly, not as a celebrity, as a symbol. At the youth center, things shifted. Donations. Volunteers. Hope. Devin wrote about her in civics class. Mariah laughed. I'm no John Lewis. You'd surprise yourself, he replied. 3 months later, she sat on the steps outside the center. Sun setting. The hum of life around her. Mr. Bailey, the director, sat beside her. You gave these kids something. You gave us something. She nodded slowly. I was just tired of being silent. He stood. You ready? Almost. She looked at the sky. Then her phone. Typed a short post. If it feels like no one sees you, speak anyway. If it feels like they won't listen, speak anyway. Someone might be waiting for your voice. She hit post, locked the door, and walked into the evening. Sometimes courage doesn't roar. Sometimes it wears flats, speaks clearly, and hits record.